Hey everybody, welcome to Music Monday video number 3. Thank you for joining us for this video. Thank you for being a part of the Zoom. If you've been a part of the Zoom, if you want to be a part of Zoom, then make sure you send me your email address. That way you can be a part of the Zoom lesson before I post these videos. You can have a chance to meet with other dulcimer players online and then also ask questions one-on-one with me as well. So when I like to start these videos, I do usually like to start with a book quote, but I didn't pick one for this time. What we were talking about at the start of the last Zoom was that oftentimes, and I know I'm very guilty of this, we can be our biggest critics. And it's good to remember that even if the process is slow, the fact that you're taking time to watch these videos, to do this work, to study through the tablature, you're still taking steps in the right direction. You're still working towards something. And as long as you're really working towards something, you really can't go wrong. I really haven't been playing mountain dulcimer for very long. I've only been playing for about a year and a half. But I have been playing other instruments before I played mountain dulcimer, and I would like to be further along in those than I probably am. With that said, I love this community, I love being a part of it, and I think that I can do something that can help you guys. At least I'd like to think that I can. I will have one more Zoom, and that will be this upcoming Monday. And then from there, I'm actually going to take a hiatus. I will be doing an in-person lesson or a workshop at the Red River Dulcimer Festival, but other than that, I'm taking a break from the Zoom lessons until about mid-September, just to give myself a little more time to really focus on my competition pieces. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you, and if you have any questions, just let me know. Your tab reviews the D major and the G major scale that we went over on Music Monday number 1. If you would like to see how it looks on a dulcimer, you can go to the Music Monday number 1 review video and take a look there. 1, 2, ready, here we go. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, ti, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do. For variations of the A major scale, see the tab in the description box below. Notice in the tab you might have an arrow that'll look like this. This tells us to bend the 6th string into the 6.5 note. This is useful to players without the 6.5 fret. When you bend the note, it'll sound like this. Notice how this completely changes the pitch. When I bend the string, I'm trying to get it into the 6.5 note. See how that sounds the same? Oop, that one didn't. There we go. Today we're going to be looking at the B minor scale. B minor is also going to be Aeolian mode. Aeolian is always natural minor. So what does B minor and D major have in common? They all use the exact same notes. The only thing that's different between a D major scale and a B minor scale is the root note. So here we are going to be starting with D, here we are going to be starting with B. So that means instead of singing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we will be singing la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. both the D major scale and the B minor scale have 2 sharps. So in the key signature, they will look the same. Since the root notes changed, the formula has also changed too. So instead of starting on whole step, half step, we're going to be starting whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. Every Ionian mode is going to look like this: whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And every Aeolian mode is going to look like this: whole step, half step, half step, whole step, whole step. So B is going to start on our 5th fret, and we can just play all of this on either the top or the lower string tuned in D-A-D, or you can also look at your tablature and follow along on the 2nd B minor scale and play it that way. To remind you about whole steps and half steps, let's look at the keyboard again. So this is our D note. A whole step from D is E. Remember, we have to go another whole step, but that's not a whole step because there's no in between them. So we need to go a whole step from E, that's F sharp. Now we have to take a half step. A half step from F sharp is G. Now a whole step from G is going to be A because there's a note in between them, so we're taking a whole step up. A whole step from A is going to be B. A whole step from B is going to be C sharp, because here's C, so if it's higher than C, C sharp, and then back to D. To remind you about whole steps and half steps, let's look at the keyboard again. So this is our D note. A whole step from D is E. Remember, we have to go another whole step, but that's not a whole step because there's no in between them. So we need to go a whole step from E, that's F sharp. Now we have to take a half step. A half step from F sharp is G. Now a whole step from G is going to be A because there's a note in between them, so we're taking a whole step up. A whole step from A is going to be B. A whole step from B is going to be C sharp, because here's C, so if it's higher than C, C sharp, and then back to D. Now looking at the B minor scale, nothing changes except for our starting pitch. First we were on D, now we're going to be on B. And we already have these notes, B and C sharp, in the D major scale. The only thing that changes is where we start. There's a couple ways to play the B minor scale. You will see both in your tablature in the description box below. In both versions, we are going to start on the lowest string at fret number 5. It'll sound like this. Let's look at the first B minor scale written. That's going to stay on the same string the whole time. One, two, ready, here we go. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. If you do not have the 6.5 fret, you can still play the B minor scale. Look at the second way to play the B minor scale in your tablature. Let's play it together. 1, 2, ready, here we go. La, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, ti, la. For our strum patterns, the first strum pattern will go like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 we are going to be playing the D chord on our left hand. On your other hand, you are going to be practicing playing a D chord like this. So here I have my pinky on 2, my ring finger on 3, and I have my pointer finger on 4. You can also switch it up and play like this, or like this, and just play everything open except for one string, like that. There's all sorts of different ways that you can play a D chord. The reason why we're doing it this way is to get used to playing it with multiple fingers. One, 2, ready, here we go. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. The next strum pattern will go like this. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 So before we were looking at a D chord here. Now we're going to be moving to the G chord. And instead of just moving your hand up and going to the G chord, try practicing keeping your ring finger where it is and just moving the other 2 fingers up 1 fret so that you can easily migrate to the next chord. From D to G, D to G, D to G. Now let's play the G chord, and we are going to do the strum pattern we just did at the same time. 1, 2, ready, here we go. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 This next drum pattern might be a little tricky because we are starting on the and. It's going to go rest and 2 and rest and 4 and rest and 2 and rest and 4 and rest and 2 and rest and 4 and rest and 2 and rest and 4 and. From our G chord, what we are going to do is we are going to move up 1. Now, yeah, technically you could say 2 on this finger, but since we consider this to be the 1.5 fret, we're moving it just down. It'll feel natural to your hands if you just kind of think about these 2 fingers moving up 1, and then this one will follow. The other option is you can go down here, or you can switch and use your thumb here, second finger, and then have your middle finger here. So those are your options, but it'll be easier from here to move up. But it's good to be able to understand that both of these are going to also be A. 1, 2, ready, here we go. And 2 and 4 and and 2 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 2 and 4 and. This next one can also be pretty tricky. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to whisper the 2 and the 4, and I'm going to play everything else. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when you feel pretty good about that, then we are going to play it again. But this time try not even saying the 2 and the 4 and see if you can do it that way. 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and. Now when we play Burning Love together, we're actually going to go from a D to a B minor chord. So let's practice making that adjustment. All we're doing is moving down our pointer finger and keeping everything else exactly where it needs to be. Just moving it down 1. All right. One, 2, ready, here we go. 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 3 and. Simple flat picking should be pretty easy. All we're doing is, instead of really focusing on a full strum, we are really honing in to one string at a time. We're going to do the same thing, so if you feel like you like to do an in strum first, you can do that. If you prefer to do an out strum first, you can do that. But then whichever one comes after is just going to be the opposite of that. So for me, I prefer to do an out strum first. I'm going to go just like that. And the idea is to work with this and see where it's a comfortable speed, how fast I can go, and then move on to the next string. And so you can go slow, you can go a little bit faster. Just really work on solidifying one string at a time and then move on to the next one. Also work on moving your hand around. Get used to how it sounds in different parts of your instrument. Notice how it gets a little sharper when I go closer to my fretboard. It gets a little warmer. So play around. With just focusing on one string at a time. Take a look at the forward mix roll pattern. You're going to start with your index finger. Then you're going to go on to your middle finger. Then index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb. Now just lower it one at a time. Index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb. Now apply that to your dulcimer. Index, middle, index, thumb, 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 index, middle, index, thumb. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we're actually going to flip it a little bit. So we're actually going to start with our middle finger, and we're going to go middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index. Try that on your dulcimer. Middle, index, thumb, index, 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 middle, index, thumb, index. We're going to play through Burning Love nice and slow. 1, 2, starting on D. Thanks for watching the Music Monday video. I hope that you like what you see. I hope it's helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and I will be happy to answer any questions that you have. As always, I hope you make great music, meet good people, and don't forget to pick peace. Thank you. Goodbye.